I believe that if there was an aspiring producer that's watching this, this is definitely going to help them. I am Focus. The industry knows me as Focus.
The Raven, I would say it's probably the most advanced thing I've seen in a while. My name is Brissette.
Dude, it's crazy. You know, it's like you can just stay there. You don't have to put the keyboard and mouse. Once I pull up plugins, then I can just move freely through them and deal with them. It just makes a lot of difference, man. You know what I'm saying? My name is Trevor Lars Jr. I'm Trevor Lars Jr. This is Focus, and this is Brissette. We call him Bris. Sometimes Bris will be playing something or going through some sounds. Focus will be going through some sounds or chopping a sample, and it might inspire me, or vice versa. So there's nothing really set in stone. But, you know, I'm a drummer first, so sometimes I'm looked at in that regard. But, you know, I've started records. We've all started records on whatever. You know, it might be keyboard part or drum part or a sample or whatever that just sparks it.
My name is Brissette. I was born in the Cayman Islands. Credits include Jessie J, Nobody's Perfect. That was her third single. We have Rick Ross on his latest album. I was on that album. Tupac, Better Days album. I did produce 2 songs on that album. What I've done on those albums, for Jessie J, it was composition and music production of the whole track. On the Rick Ross record, it was mostly keyboard work on the single with K. Michelle. Timbaland produced that. With Dr. Dre, I would specialize in more keyboard work. So what I really love about the Raven, it allows me to access sounds on the fly very easily, switch between sounds when the creative vibe. So for instance, I can be on an electric piano, volume, everything right there, solo, mute. Okay, I don't like that sound, let me go to another one, just touch. I have a whole nother synth, volume, go to another track. We all love 808s. Yeah, you can't do that with software the way, you know, it's traditionally been set up. This brings a whole nother level of creativity to your workflow. You will usually have to dig with a mouse and a keyboard, but everything is now it's right here. You can move 2, 3 faders at the same time. It's quite awesome. It's the best thing that's happened, I think. Let me see you do that on a Control 24, guys. Incredible.
I am Focus. The industry knows me as Focus. Everyone knows me from my Aftermath affiliation. I've been with Doc for some years. Some of the credits that I've had are Busta Rhymes, J-Lo, Beyonce. I've worked with NSYNC. I've worked with Usher. As a producer, I get to do everything. I don't have to just hone in on one thing. Sometimes I'll do just tops and try to collaborate with Trevor, who's an amazing drummer. And his pocket and everything is amazing. Or sometimes I'll do drums and I'll collaborate with Bris, who's an amazing melodic producer as well. But it depends on what I feel like doing. Most of the time I really try to go in and do a whole composition myself as a producer. I love the Raven. I've really permanently put this in my workflow. Incorporating the Raven into my workflow has been kind of a huge gift for me because I've had too many problems with a laptop. I'm like a laptop killer. And so I've dummied my whole rig down to a Mac Mini, and putting the Mac Mini with the Raven has been amazing. Not only do I get to have the batch commands and the various things, and also the floating faders and all of that. All of that is really cool. But for me, the actual touching of the music is like the best thing of it. So for me, it's you just made everything tangible. Everything, you can touch it, you can manipulate it, and that's my biggest thing about it. I love that. A couple of my favorite features that I'm really digging as well. One of them is the audio effects. I like the fact that you can go to a track, select a track, and go to your audio effects, and instead of just what you normally do in Logic is assign it, you can actually scroll through and find whatever it is you're trying to do. So you just scroll through, and if you want a compressor or whatever, it comes up. You select it, it pops up, and you assign it like normal. I really love that. Like I said, I'm an old school person, so SSLs and compressors and things like that, I used to touch knobs, so it's really dope. It almost gives me the feeling that I'm touching knobs again, if you will.
My name is Trevor Lars Jr. I'm a collaborator. I play the drums, and I do. It depends on what the situation is. Sometimes I produce, sometimes I'm programming, sometimes I'm doing vocal production. It just depends. But 9 times out of 10, I started playing drums. That's my main thing. And then, we call ourselves producers nowadays, but sometimes, those roles mean different things. So, for all intents and purposes in 2015, yes, I'm a producer, but I'm also a collaborator because I can be involved in different areas of a project, and that involves songwriting. Producers aren't always songwriters. I co-wrote, I think every song except one on the Eminem Relapse album a few years back, and I worked on a lot of different singles that came out around that time, and several songs on the 50 Cent album that came out that time. Alicia Keys' album that just came out last year or a couple years ago. I worked on that record. I worked on her As I Am album, and I played drums on virtually every song on that album. And, just different things from Hans Zimmer. I worked on Man of Steel with Hans. And I've toured with people like Snoop and Jennifer Lopez, and most currently Herbie Hancock. And the Raven is ahead of its time, and I don't mind when a product comes out that's a little ahead, because that's the only way you get ahead. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I interact with some of these plugins using the Raven. So I have this vocal. It doesn't even sound like a vocal because I have a plugin on it, but let's just look. So that's like a weird vocal. So I'm gonna put this plugin on it, and it's awesome to be able to do it. Just go through everything by my fingers. All right, I'm gonna go with that for now, and see what that sounds like. I got some horn stuff. Yeah, I love that. Faders are super accurate. So yeah, I love the Raven. It's something that's not going anywhere in my setup. And if I know I'm gonna be gone somewhere for a long time or what have you, then it comes with me, for mobile uses too. So it's definitely a no-brainer for me. It's been a part of my studio for the last year, some change, and a part of some of my travels. And I have a case for mine. I could throw it with the rest of my tour cases and have it with me, and when I need it, which is another great thing. So it's an important piece, and it can make you feel like you're at your home studio away from home, and I think that's a big part of it, is like you have consistency and functionality that you would have, if you may not have a large format console and you have to leave, you'll have that same consistency and you can still have that feel of with the workflow, and it looks cool.